Look, something is wrong at Anfield. The goals have dried up, the magic has faded away. And while everyone's debating about formations, contracts, or even the next manager, Liverpool's biggest problem is hiding in plain sight. Mo Salah at 33 is declining, Cody Gakpo is predictable on the left, and the right wing is clearly a wasteland. This isn't about one player's declining, this is about how an entire attack has lost its own identity. But what if I told you that 1,000 miles away in Leipzig, a 19-year-old solves all these problems and is dreaming of doing it at Anfield? This is the story of how Liverpool's crisis becomes one's teenager destiny. Let's start by addressing the elephant in the room, Mohamed Salah. And I hate to say it, but Mohamed Salah is clearly finished. I know football is really a cruel sport. This time last year, Mohamed Salah was probably in the Ballon d'Or contenders. He was clearly up top for the players to win the Ballon d'Or because also Dembele wasn't that great this time last year. So clearly Mohamed Salah was the favorite. But this time, right now, Mohamed Salah, while I'm recording, has 4 goals and 4 assists in 15 Premier League games at Liverpool. So this is the worst Liverpool half season he's had since he came to Liverpool. But that also is not only on Mohamed Salah. Slot, how he uses him as a touchline winger when he's clearly lost his pace, his directness, when he can't dribble past any player, is a complete tactical suicide. I think the best thing you can do to get the best out of Mohamed Salah right now is playing him closer to the goal, playing him a bit more centrally. That's what Egypt did at AFCON, and look what he did. He was among the top scorer of the AFCON and played great. I think he still has a bit to offer in a central position, but either way, I think Mo Salah's future is not at Liverpool. And I think looking down right now, it's easier to say it, but I think that contract extension was a mistake. I don't see a long-term future of Mohamed Salah at Liverpool. We've also seen his outburst in the media. All that doesn't help. But let's not talk about just Mohamed Salah on the right wing. Let's also talk about the left wing, Cody Gakpo. I think he's a great player. Honestly, I don't want to participate in that Cody Gakpo bashing, but this guy is so predictable. He has only one skill set in his locker. So cutting inside, shoot with his right foot. I think every defender in the world have solved the puzzle. It's so easy to defend against Cody Gakpo because he always does the same thing. And honestly, I don't think he's a Liverpool type of winger. I don't think he has that Liverpool DNA in him. And that leads to the only player that has been doing great right now is Igor Ekitike. Igor Ekitike, a record sale for Frankfurt, 90 million. And honestly, Igor Ekitike has lived up expectation. He's currently the top scorer of Liverpool. A Firmino regain, works hard off the ball, is really technically gifted, and he can be the connector of the attack. But what made Liverpool great was the directness, the pace, the energy on the wings is no longer there. Plus, the Luis Diaz has never been replaced. So talking about shopping in Bundesliga, Liverpool's recent signings are all from Bundesliga. So Konate from RB Leipzig, who has become a champion. Szoboszlai from Leipzig, who has been also a champion and who's currently your best player. Florian Wirtz from Leverkusen, we all know how talented Flo is. And Ekitike, who's currently one of your best players also, is from Frankfurt, so from the Bundesliga. So what if I told you that right now the Bundesliga has exactly what Liverpool need? The question is, are they brave enough to go and get him? The star I'm talking about is Yan Diomande, 19 years old, born in Ivory Coast, started playing football in America at the college level at the DME Academy in Florida. Chelsea tried to sign him and that didn't went through. So while Chelsea were arguing over the fees, Leganes saw the potential since the early days in America and clearly wanted to invest on the player. So they took him, signed a 5-year contract with a 20 million release clause, the highest in their entire history. And what you can say is that it did work well for Leganes, because in his first season where he came, its only season, he came in injured, and Leganes decided to send him at Dubai to do a proper preseason where it lasted 6 months. So he did a preseason in Dubai, came in January for the second half of the season, and it was enough to convince one of the biggest European teams to invest. So Leipzig saw the potential 20 million, and they signed him. And now we can say that it was clearly a bargain because he will not go less than for 100 million, RB Leipzig has said. So I want to touch down also on what Yan Diomande has said, because he said clearly in his words, I want to represent Liverpool. My father's dream is to watch me play at Anfield, Yan Diomande said. But dreams don't win football matches, ability does. And that's why he's perfect for Liverpool. Let's talk about Yan Diomande's ability. While Liverpool struggle on both wings, here's a player who solves these problems. He can either play as a left winger, as a competitor for Cody Gakpo, or can clearly take that right wing. He's naturally right foot, but he's devastating on either side of the pitch. Second, I want to talk about his directness that also Liverpool have lost in the recent years. We're talking about a guy that averages 56% success rate on dribbles. That's the highest amongst European top wingers. But I don't want you to just stay on that style. Watch how he dribbles players. We're not talking about a player who hesitates, who does tibitos. No, we're talking about pure pace and power. This is what Liverpool used to be, and this is what Liverpool currently needs in the attack. And defensively, he's always running, he's always pressing his opponent, and he's always harassing the opponent. So this kid embodies everything that Jurgen Klopp loved about wingers. And talking about Jurgen Klopp, he personally called him and signed him at RB Leipzig. He was one of the guys who were convinced about seeing the data. And if Klopp, who's now director of head global sports at Leipzig, if he was convinced about Yan Diomande, I think Liverpool should also be. We're talking about a manager that has brought success back at Liverpool in the last few years. But here's where I'm convinced that Yan Diomande would be a total success. It's his decision making. We're talking about a guy who's efficient also in front of the goal. Yan Diomande right now has 12 goals and assists in 20 league games. So we're talking about a guy that already has more than 10 goals and assists in his first major championship. I think there is players that you're never wrong. Yan Diomande is clearly a generational talent, and Liverpool should be all over it. And let's talk about Liverpool's recruitment from Germany. It has been flawless in the first 3 years. Every single penny was worth it, and it clearly worked. The pipeline is proven. RB Leipzig are currently a selling club. I don't think they would refuse to sell for a substantial fee. But the problem is that you spent 445 million last summer. Going in and spending 100 million in the beginning of the summer, it will be complicated, let's not lie. But I think the risk is worth it. You need to take the risk. Yes, Yan Diomande is not Rice, he's not Bellingham, he's not Caicedo, it's not an established quality, but the potential is there. But we're talking about a player who could define Liverpool's era, a player who's desperate to join them, a player who's guided by the coach who also knows exactly what Liverpool need. I think you can't have more of aligned planets situation like this one. So for me, the question isn't whether Yan Diomande is talented enough. The question is whether Liverpool can afford to miss out on a perfect winger like this. They've just missed out on Antoine Semenyo, who's gone to Manchester City. They have missed out in the past on players like Jeremy Doku, but can they really afford to miss out on Yan Diomande right now? That's the question I'm asking, because Liverpool history was written by wingers who changed everything. Liverpool had Burns, Liverpool had Mane, and then pick Salah. Each one brought something different, but they all shared the same fearlessness. But I think every era ends, every player reaches their limits. The question isn't whether change is needed. The question is whether you're smart enough to see it coming. And right now in Leipzig, there is a 19-year-old, I think, who's ready for the next top level, and who's ready also to come in and replace his fellow African teammate. So what do you think about this video, guys? I want to know thoughts in the comments. Is 100 million a lot for a player of the quality and the potential of Yan Diomande? And do you see maybe a future of Salah at Liverpool? For me, I think this summer he's gone in Saudi, and I think that's the best also for him, and I think he deserves a major send-off of what he's done at Liverpool. Let me know in the comments for what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.